I think one of the most common questions that I hear is, what's the difference between trafficking here in the US versus trafficking overseas? I think there's a few major issues. One is the scale of the problem overseas versus here at the US. Out of the 45.8 million across the world that are caught up in slavery today, less than 0.04% are here in the US. So while there's a problem here, and the organizations that are fighting it here need to continue to do so, much of the work that needs to be done is actually overseas. And so that's why Rescue Freedom focuses so much of its efforts overseas, not to the exclusion of the US. We have a problem here and we need to fight it. I think culturally, the US is at a very different place than many other countries in the world. We are not okay with slavery within our borders. And so many people, government included, has passed laws and said, we're going to fight this. A lot of movements and efforts have been brought up to say we want to end slavery within our lifetime. That's not necessarily what we see happening in other countries. I think services here, there's a huge number of organizations committed right here to fight trafficking in the US and very few overseas. So there's some big changes. I think the biggest one really though is this, it's the level of support. Out of the $390 billion given to charity last year, less than 6% went to international causes. And it's those international organizations that are seeking to solve 95% of the world's problems. The math just doesn't work. If we're serious about healing the world, we have to use our minds, not just our hearts, to say we're going to get involved in such a way that's going to make a big difference. And I think it's natural for us to want to give local. I do, and we should all continue to do that. We have issues here that we need to be concerned about. But I think that we also have to use our minds and say we have to do not just what feels right, but what is right if we're going to make a significant difference. And that, I think, are some of the major issues between the difference domestically and globally when it comes to fighting this important issue.